heartache.
Welcome back, everybody, to another MLB The Show franchise mode here with the Chicago White Sox. We're picking up right where we left off. It is the off-season time. We take a quick look at the playoff bracket, and the Los Angeles Dodgers are your 2019 World Series champions. They beat the Boston Red Sox, who beat us in the ALDS in 7 games. You take a look at their route. They beat Washington 3-0 in the ALDS. They went to Game 7 against the Giants, who swept the Cubs, and then they went to Game 7 in the World Series, and they took it away from the Red Sox, who beat the Angels in 6 games in the ALCS. So, enough about them. Let's get worried about ourselves. It is post or off-season time. I am excited. We have a lot of moves and questions to tackle. What did the White Sox do with Wade Davis? What did they do with Noah Syndergaard? You know, we got a lot of questions. And first, we have to start signing some players and see what the free agency looks like. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So before we go ahead and we get to our free agents, our exclusive free agents, we do have a coaching staff spot to fill, and that is our hitting coach. So give me just a second. I gotta find out where the hell I'm going. There we go. So you can see in 2 years we're screwed because every guy is up. His contract is up. Mike Butcher, you know, a little bit of questions going around about Mike Butcher. We'll see how he starts next season. I can tell you he's staying with the White Sox to start the season. We'll see how he does. I'll say that much. So we need a hitting coach. Let's see what we got out there. Brian Butterfield. Sounds like an interesting name. None of these guys got all plus. Okay, we got Darren Holiday. He's a young guy. Let's see what he's got. No stuff. He's got no stats. So let's continue. Jason Feliz. He's a little bit older. No stats as well. You know what? I'd like a little bit of a younger guy. It brings a little bit of, you know, versatility to our staff. So we're gonna go ahead and give Darren Holiday a 3-year contract, $4.2 million. We'll see if he accepts that. So let's get to our exclusive free agents. We're not going to worry about Mike Napoli. He's not coming back. Let's see how much Adam Eaton wants. And he wants $12 million a year. So that is what I said the White Sox likely would not sign. You know, we'll have to see what the White Sox do. You know, it seems if we cut it down, he's really not going to go away from that $11-12 million a year. So we'll have to see what the White Sox decide to do. I have a feeling they're not going to sign him. So we're a couple more days down the road. The White Sox, Darren Holiday accepted as the hitting coach, so the White Sox staff is all filled up. We took at exclusive free agents. The White Sox did offer Adam Eaton a contract. If we take a look at it, if we can, I don't know if we can or not. We cannot. The White Sox offered him a 2-year, $20 million contract. Actually, you can see it right there in that box. I must be blind. It's a 2-year, $20 million contract with a player option for year 1, so he can opt out of it if he wants to. You know, his interest level wasn't that high, but that is the best the White Sox are looking to give. So as we continue down the road a little bit, we'll have to see what the White Sox decide to do. Today's the last day, and it looks like Adam Eaton has not accepted it. Now, keep in mind, say the White Sox decide they do want to sign him, give him a little bit more money, they can do that. You know, he's going to be a free agent, assuming he doesn't sign today with the White Sox. Maybe the White Sox don't see anything in free agency. Maybe that's what they're hoping for, is to see something like that. And actually, that was pretty interesting. Let's look. Nolan Arenado, a 6-year contract. He stays in Colorado. Carlos Carrasco stays in Cleveland. Rizzo stays a Cubby, 5 years. Jake Arrieta, you can see that. And then that's just all kind of stuff. So some big contracts be given out to, you know, franchise players there. So, free agency 1. Let's take a look at who we got. Xander Bogaerts. Actually, let's go by position. Garrett Cole, very good pitcher out here on free agency. Sonny Gray, Michael Wacha, Tanner Rourke. I can't say his name. It's a weird name to pronounce. Rick Porcello, Drew Smyly. Drew Smyly, a guy that has been really good. You saw his All-Star year. You know, maybe a low price option that the White Sox might try to go after. We'll have to see. And then some other names you guys might be familiar with. We look at relief pitchers. Dylan Betances is out there. Will Harris, Tyler Thornburg, who you saw in this postseason, Hector Rodon, So not too many big names, but some reliable names. Let's look at closing pitchers. Brandon Morrow, a guy I'm sure you guys, if you've been following baseball, you know who Brandon Morrow is. He's a great closing pitcher. Had 2 great years with the Chicago White Sox, and now he sits as a free agent looking to make a lot of money. Catchers, Tyler Flowers is back on the free market. White Sox not in the market for a catcher this offseason. First base, they're solid. Jose Abreu was out there on the market, the former White Sox. Not really much of a need for him here. We'd look at second base. Josh Harrison, not too bad. Ian Kinsler, Asdrubal Cabrera. So not too bad, not too bad. Third base, Rodon Castellanos. You guys saw his numbers last year. 30 home runs, 86 RBIs, a 263 batting average. So not too bad. The power numbers up from last year. The batting average a little bit down. I'm sure he's got a little bit more airtime in his swing. Martin Prado, you can see. So not a pretty good free agency so far. Shortstop, you guys saw Alexander Bogaerts. White Sox likely not, I don't think they're going to move Tim Anderson, so I don't think they're going to be going for him. Didi Gregorius, another great player. We look at left field. So this is where the White Sox are going to be looking here. This is where the White Sox, if they're going to make a signing, really, a big one, it's going to be here in left center or right field. So Marcell Ozuna, 12 home runs, 72 RBIs, a 275 batting average. You can see the stealing and base aggressiveness is at the bottom. It's on the floor. The speed's not bad. You got Matt Kemp, a pretty good hitter. White Sox might try to get him as a backup arm or whatnot. Brett Gardner, not bad, not bad. We go to center field. You guys saw Adam Eaton, another amazing starting leadoff hitter. Billy Hamilton, his speed is absolutely through the roof. You can see he batted only .226 last season. I mean, he's great defensively. He's great on the base pass, but he needs to get on the base pass. Starling Marte, a pretty good center fielder. You can see the speed and the base aggressiveness up there. The average 272, pretty good. The 8 home runs, 64 RBIs, so he's an option. And then we look at right field, Yasiel Puig. The speed is not that great. He's got the power. The batting average is in the 250s, so not stellar. And then we have Avi Garcia, 303 last season, 13 home runs, 54 RBIs. He's a guy that's familiar with the Chicago White Sox. It wasn't that long ago he batted 330, so White Sox maybe going to make a move to get an old veteran for the White Sox. But that is the free agency market. So, really, I mean, if we're being honest, the best outfielders we're seeing out there is Adam Eaton, and in my mind, Marcell Ozuna. That's what I'm seeing. Because the White Sox are looking for a leadoff role, and right now, I'm not really seeing it. So, some heartbreaking news here. Adam Eaton is no longer a member of the White Sox. He's going to the Red Sox, the team that just eliminated him from the postseason. A $45 million contract for 4 years. So the White Sox do not have Adam Eaton no longer. They brought him back. He had a great year, but he was just asking for too much money. You can see $10.46 million a year. So that's really not that much more than the White Sox were offering. They were offering $10 million a year for 2 years. So obviously the length was important to Adam Eaton. So a big signing, Garrett Cole going to the Washington Nationals on a 4-year deal, $70 million. So a big signing here in the Major League Baseball. Another big move, Xander Bogaerts leaving the Boston Red Sox. He is going to Milwaukee on a 6-year, $126 million deal. He's going to be a Brewer, so the Chicago Cubs, our rivals up north, definitely going to get a little bit tougher as they get a great shortstop there in Milwaukee. So my dumb ass just forgot to double click the button, so it just erased everything I just did. So basically, we just got an alert that Noah Syndergaard signed with the Dodgers. I don't know how that happened, concerning he had a year of arbitration left. We offered him a contract and arbitration, but somehow the Dodgers signed him to like a 5-year contract. I don't know how. The game obviously just messed up something. I know for a fact I didn't release him. I know it for a fact. So White Sox now are in the market for a starting pitcher, or are going to have to replace within. So yeah, not the White Sox, what they thought they were going to have to deal with. There's nothing I can do to fix it. I didn't save right before this, so unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that. So the White Sox basically made a trade for a rental when they didn't know he was going to be a rental and he wasn't supposed to be. So, you know what, I'm not going to dwell on it too much longer. It sucks, but it is what it is. So, after that mishap, the White Sox just made one of the biggest trades in MLB. The White Sox just got a great player in Aaron Judge. The White Sox have filled the right field position, and they just went and got Aaron Judge. 300 batting average, 41 home runs, 121 RBIs. One of the best players in baseball. So, now that you may have finally just sat down and now you're standing back up because you can't believe what's going on, let's find out how. We traded Wade Davis, Luis Robert, and Omar Narvaez for Aaron Judge. So, let's break this down. White Sox traded their closing pitcher, which means now Frederick Gonzalez is going to be the closer or competing with Jake McGee for the closing spot. Luis Robert, the White Sox biggest prospect, now goes to the Yankees. He didn't really pan out so far in his first kind of season and a half, 2 seasons. And the White Sox, they throw in Omar Narvaez to complete the trade. They were likely going to move him anyways. So basically it's a Robert Davis for Judge. Wow. Honestly, this is a great trade for both teams. Obviously, the Yankees don't want to give up Aaron Judge, but if you think about it, their bullpen had some, shaky numbers last season. They got a lot of great arms, but now they bring in a really good closer. Someone that's been really good for a long time and hasn't been shaky. They bring him in. They bring in a great prospect. Aaron Judge, he's $10 million just for this season. Excuse me, and then he's on arbitration, I believe, for another couple of years. They bring in Luis Robert, a young guy whose ceiling is just, you can't even see it. It's too high. And they bring in Omar Narvaez. They need someone to back up behind Gary Sanchez, and Omar Narvaez is a left-handed batter. So, honestly, this is a great fit for both teams. The White Sox get Aaron Judge. You're likely going to see Aaron Judge batting second in the lineup. That's where I think they'll likely play him. And that begs the question, Yoan Moncada or Tim Anderson leading off? That's the big question. And the other big question is, you can see right there, who are the White Sox going to get or use to replace Noah Syndergaard? Let's take just a quick look at our starting pitchers. We'll rank it by potential. We got Giolito, we got Rodon, we got Kopech. So, after that, we have Nottingham, Harvey, Garth Anderson, Alec Asher. So, Nottingham, I think, is a pretty good, easy yes. After that, it gets a little... we have Isaiah Bannister. He's 23 years old. I don't know, but the White Sox, obviously, when we traded, Dylan Cease and Dane Dunning, we were expecting to have Noah Syndergaard for at least another year, if not, for a couple more years after that. When we traded away that depth, we were expecting a really good pitcher to be here. So now the White Sox starting pitching depth has really kind of, the White Sox bullpen's still good, closing pretty good, catchers are good. Now where I can see the White Sox making a move, they have Matt Davidson, but they also have Luis Fernandez and Andreas Vasquez, 2 really good third baseman prospects. I could see them moving one of them for, possibly a third or fourth position starting pitcher. We'll have to see. If they do make a move, obviously, we'll keep you in the know. Cardinals fighting back. Brandon Morrow signs with the Cardinals. He is on a 1-year, $6.4 million deal. So, Cub fans, get a little worried. The NL Central just got a lot tougher. So, we just had the Rule 5 draft, and we did pick up a player. As you guys could possibly imagine, we picked up a starting pitcher. We're going to have Joel Meyer, I believe you could pronounce his name that way. Good number there with 17. B potential, 24 years old, 76 overall. You can see the stamina's not that great. His medium numbers, strikeouts, walks, hits, clutch, is about average, a little bit above average. His velocity, 99. So that really stuck out to me. His break's pretty high at 78. So, a pretty good pick. And, if he doesn't pan out with the team, obviously the White Sox can release him after spring training. But it never hurts to pick up a guy that you really need in the Rule 5 draft. So I accidentally just skipped the first one. Here we have our second arbitration. You can see the panel sided with the White Sox, $1.3 million for Yolmer Sanchez. And Matt Harvey getting $560,000. And Trace Thompson will get 1.6. So the White Sox do have a couple outfield arms. They're on reserve. Yes, I would like to stop simulating. Please don't sim me all the way out of that. Thank you. This whole off season has just been nuts. I don't know why, but the game seems to be twitching, and I don't know. Things are just acting weird. I'm getting freaked out that stuff's going wrong. So let's just take a quick look at our players. You can see our highest contract, Aaron Judge, $10.1 million. He's got 2 more years of arbitration. Lucas Giolito, you can see him. Let's see what we made. Trace Thompson, 1.6, so pretty high for him. Maybe a move is needed. Scott Schiebler, 1.6. Let's see who else. You saw Sanchez. Russin, 1.2 million. He stays with the team for another year. If we continue, Matt Harvey, I showed you that. Not too much else different. I'll just go down the list. You guys can pause it if you feel like it. If you really want to look at the thing, I'm open to you guys stopping and looking at that, because I'm sure you guys may be interested. Somebody out there might be curious about Antonio Cruz, 52 overall. How much is he making? So as you can see, not a lot. We have $45 million in salary, which if you're a baseball fan, that is absolutely nothing. I mean, that is just nothing. We have no money on the books, which means the White Sox have some room to make some big signings. They have another year of 5.1 with Giolito, but then he's last year of arbitration. White Sox might go and ink Aaron Judge to a big contract. There's a lot of good players on this team that are going to be getting big contracts soon. So the White Sox aren't just looking, hey, we only got $45 million. Let's go just spend some money because we have money saved up. They have money saved up because they got a lot of good players that they got to sign, in coming years. So we are almost at spring training. And let's see if the White Sox decide to make a starting pitcher move, or if they just go straight into spring training as is. So 'tis is the season where the spring is in the air, and baseball's be throwing on fields in Arizona and in Florida. It is spring training time, and the White Sox have not made a move for a starting pitcher. There was rumors against with the New York Mets. I'll let you guys speculate in the comments section below if you would like to think who the White Sox may have gotten or have tried to get. We didn't get anybody. Let me clear that up. We did not get anybody. So let me put that out there. So the White Sox going to spring training, losing a pitcher. We lose Adam Eaton. We gain Aaron Judge. We lose some prospects in Luis Robert. We lose Wade Davis. So that is going to be a battle now for the closing position between Jake McGee, who was our closer. He's not really a closer, but he was our closer when we made the run to the ALCS and made it to Game 7. And then Frederick Gonzalez is the up-and-coming new guy who has boatloads of potential but struggled in this postseason. So we're going to go ahead and get the roster set up, and then we'll come back and show it to you guys. All right, so we have our 40-man roster set for spring training. We have 36 guys on. So let's take a look at the starting pitchers. We have Giolito, Kopech, Rodon. We have Joel Mayer, who is our Rule 5 pick. DeAndre Nottingham, Matt Harvey, and Garth Anderson. Alec Asher will not be starting with the club here in spring training. He will start the season in AAA, assuming a team does not pick him up. We go to the bullpen. McGee, Russin, Infante, Nobles, Guillen, and Scahill. If you guys remember from the very beginning of the series, the first season, Rob Scahill was a big guy who played a big role for our team. He didn't make it the second year. He's going to be trying to force his way on this year. In the closing position, we have all 4 of our guys out there: Gonzalez, Diaz, Herschel Gibbons, and Larry Frank. So a 71 overall, 19-year-old with B potential is going to be trying to make the team if he possibly can. Catchers, Castro, Collins. That is where we're starting the season. Everyone kind of knows that. There's really no one else that would compete for that. So right now, those are our two. Devers at first, the only guy there. Second base, we have three: Moncada, Sanchez, and Yohan Martin. 68 overall, 20-year-old with B potential. He's just going to get some playing time. He'll probably be one of the guys that's sent down halfway through. I mean, if he's playing well, he's going to stay up. I'm not just going to send someone down because they have, not the greatest potential. If they can play, they'll play. Third base, Matt Davidson, and we have Luis Fernandez, the big White Sox prospect, 18 years old, A potential, and when I had him in AAA, it said he was 75 overall. So once he, I think, gets off the bench, I mean, for me, Luis Fernandez is practically like the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in real life aspects, where he's young and he's got so much talent. I mean, his power is pretty good, his hitting's pretty good, so excited to see him play. Shortstop, Tim Anderson, Lincecum, nothing changes there. Left field, all three, Rutherford, Delmonico, and Robles. He will get some time. Eloy Jimenez and Trace Thompson. Lori Garcia is being sent down. And then we have Judge, Schiebler, and Odolfo. So that is our 36. And that, guys, is going to be where we leave this episode. We are going to start the next episode with spring training and the first game of the season. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really excited to start the 2020 season. I mean, 2020 is hindsight. We know what we had our problems with, and we're hoping to address that. How is this starting rotation gonna do? With the loss of Noah Syndergaard. I'm excited. I hope you guys are as well. So without further ado, guys, that is gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we will see you next episode.